Welcome back, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in the pop culture space. So that's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk news and speculation, all that good and nerdy stuff. I am Mole Poupée, your resident fabricant and commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the video game designer, anime expert, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. Man, Ladi, what is going on?
Man, it is going great, man. Just beat Horizon, which was hard as shit. But yeah, I'm about to move over to Elden Ring, which I am streaming tonight. So anybody who wants to catch the stream, if it's not tonight, probably is gonna be. So
Right.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, video game is going hard right now. But speaking of going hard, uh, we're talking about we're talking about all of this news we got going on with the superhero stuff. It's a big old news week, so that's gonna be our main thing for today. The big old news roundup. Got Evangeline Lilly trying to fumble the bag. Morbius drops its final trailer in advance of its April 1st showing. There's some casting news for a couple of Marvel related properties. A ton of Multiverse of Madness news. I could just 5 or 6 things of Multiverse of Madness. A couple things about the Batman. A second one seems to be on the way, and we look at some of the early reactions to the Batman. In addition, Netflix Marvel shows. Where are they going to go now that they are off of Netflix? And
So
I love,
Marvel's not Netflixing and chilling.
not anymore. I don't think Marvel ever will Netflix and chill again. Um, and we also got just a little bit of fun with the outtakes and fun things that Andrew, Toby, and Tom were doing as Spider-Man. So all of that. Lottie, you ready to get into this news? Oh,
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
it's a bunch. So off the top, something we meant to talk about last week, but you know what? There was a lot of going on last week. But we're gonna put somebody on blast. I think we've already sort of talked about and put her on blast, but we are in the habit of continuing to do so until people like stop being dumb. Nope, it's not Letitia Wright. We're not giving her the business. Instead, Evangeline Lilly, trying to do the epic bag fumble. She's trying to she's but Lottie is, would you say she's in the red zone, the ball on the one, just got to punch it in, and she's fumbling the bag right there, and then someone else is
Like,
gonna scoop and score. That,
yeah,
that
it's like this is like a straight fumble. Like when I saw like the stuff that she was saying in the comments, there was like people saying like, "Yeah, you can't defend this one."
Well, I mean, and to put into context, no, basically, she was just like, "Well, I stand for freedom, bodily autonomy, and I'm against vaccine mandates and blah blah blah." You know what? Okay, fine, whatever. Think whatever you want. Gwyneth Paltrow has some really kind of nutty ideas about vaccines and crap too. But who's sharing that right now, and who isn't? Like, it was just nobody. Nobody was asking anything about your fucking opinion, but you had to share it. So now you get to get the business. And honestly, I'm at the point I don't really give a fuck about whatever their individual stance is. All I know is that the mouse is just like, bitch, did I tell you you're supposed to just shut the hell up? That's all they're saying. Bitch, shut up. You can just see
Bitch,
you
shut
just
up!
you just see Mickey being like, didn't I tell you motherfuckers to shut the hell up?
Didn't Mickey Mouse tell a bitch to shut up?
Now that I mean, look, you can have your opinion. I hate that I have to explain to grown-ups, because, and this is it's a problem of education also. uh, there's a lot of privilege and a lot of entitlement and shit like that going on. A lot of people have this wrong understanding about free speech. You know, they say, "Oh, Disney can't fire her. That's that's violating her free speech." No, it's not. It's not. The First Amendment. If you're American, the First Amendment says that the government can't do anything to you, but the company you work for can say "fuck off" because you're causing us problems. And
Yep.
and that's essentially what we're looking at. Yeah, causing problems, and suddenly you find yourself not sucking on that Disney Marvel titty, getting all that good nourishment into your bank account. So, look, I mean, so whatever you think about what she actually stands for, one thing she doesn't seem to be able to stand for is shutting the fuck up when no one's asking your fucking opinion.
Yep.
And I'm not saying shut up and dribble like Laura Ingraham. I'm not saying at all. I'm saying say whatever you want. Just know that you are the price of what you have to say is that Marvel bag. So anyway, Lottie, feel free to give her the business some more if you care. So, but I just like, yeah.
I just don't understand why people just can't just shut the fuck.
Well, it's not even people. See, like you and I, we're nobodies. It doesn't
Yeah.
our jobs don't give a fuck if what we have to say about it. But she's a big old celebrity, and she's got a contract with a corporation, and that corporation is just like, stop rocking the damn boat. Like for real, just stop. Again, think about this. You think about all the people who are in the MCU, currently in the MCU right now. All these people that are currently in the MCU. Do you know what they think about vaccines? Just any of them. Do you know what M'Baku has to say about vaccines?
No.
I mean, do you know what Anthony Mackie's got to say about it? No, because he don't. Yeah, exactly. Like, anyway, just go ahead and fumble that bag. Somebody else will scoop and score.
What amazes me the most about the whole thing is that it comes out at random. They're just like, hey, I think I'm gonna be the next Marvel person to start talking about the vaccine. Let's go ahead and start talking about it. You know what I mean?
It's like, oh, they're like, man, we were just asking you about being an Ant-Man and the Wasp. What is this vaccine shit? Nobody said anything about a vaccine. Yeah, but let me talk to you about vaccines. And oh my God, shut up. Anyway, moving on. I think we've dogpiled her enough.
Yeah.
Moving on. Let's talk about the Morbius trailer. It just dropped today. Morbius, it's been moved quite a bit. Thanks a lot, COVID. I should have seen this a year ago, but here we are. And remember, it was supposed to come out in January, but Omicron was transforming everywhere. So so now we're finally getting it on April 1st, which I think is a really stupid day to release a movie because everybody's gonna be like, I'm kidding. 2 months later, we're pushing it back 2 months. But either way, we did get this final trailer. Ladi, what do you think?
My first impression was, how is this PG-13? That's the first thing I said. Dave, what? Sony, they skirt the edge on that one, boy. But they're good at it. They were somehow able to make Uncharted, not the movie, the video game rated T, when that game feels like a rated M game. Mm-hmm. So Sony knows what they're doing. 2, this is clearly, is Spider-Man going to show up in these movies? I'll be very interested. We know Venom can show up. What will Venom say to Morbius? How does it taste to eat people? You know what I mean? They'll have something in common.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that this we've been like, where is this taking place? Like, I think we more or less established it's probably in the Venomverse. So we don't know that there's a Spider-Man in the Venomverse, as far as we can understand. But then you got this whole Michael Keaton thing, which now that kind of throws me too. And he's featured a little more prominently in this trailer. We get to see him, actually talking to. They're, presumably they're going to be in maybe the same prison or lockup or something like that. And so you have to wonder, is this the same Adrian Toomes as we saw in Homecoming? I think there's a good reason to think it isn't, which is mainly because Venom was just in the quote the real MCU, and then he went back to his universe. So if the Venom verse is not the same as the MCU, this isn't the same Vulture. But if it's not the same Vulture, what kind of Vulture is he? That's a big question for me. What kind of Vulture is he if he's not? Because he can't be the MCU Vulture. The MCU Vulture has Chitauri Tech to be the Vulture. So who is this guy? But either way, I'm intrigued by that completely. I be honest though, I was not like blown away by this trailer. I thought it was good, but I it didn't get me going like the first, the previous one of these trailers, because we saw much of what was already in this trailer, attacking. A lot of the things we saw in this trailer we've already seen in other trailers, and it's more or less just leaning into and acknowledging that he's like, oh, I'm a superhuman now, but I gotta choose between drinking blood and living and kicking ass or dying of thirst. And then there's the Doctor Who guy. I don't remember the guy's name, but he's, I guess, the bad guy or something. So it looks like we're seeing another anti-hero, Venom situation where we're gonna cheer for a guy that otherwise we'd be like, he's kind of eating people. So maybe we shouldn't be okay with him. But all that being said, I'm excited for this. I've been wanting to see Morbius since they said they were making it, and it's got Jared Leto's in it. I mean, it could be great, and I'm hoping it's great. So, but
I feel like it'll be a good movie.
yeah, I just feel like as a trailer, as it goes as a trailer, it was fine. It was fine as a trailer. So, but we'll see. We're gonna see. It's April 1st, so we're about a month away. Real quick, some casting news. We like to look forward to the things that are being worked on. So, hey, I really am looking forward to the Craven the Hunter movie. I love the fact that they're like, we're totally doing Craven the Hunter. If you had asked me 2 years ago, are they gonna make a Craven? I'd be like, why would they make it? He's the bad guy. He's supposed to fight Spider-Man, but they're making it. They're making them. Sony's whole thing is they're making a villain verse, I guess you could say. But that said, they got Aaron Taylor Johnson, formerly Quicksilver in the MCU, to be Craven, and now they've cast their Chameleon.
That was a great Craven.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you've seen Aaron Taylor Johnson, post Kick Ass, the guy's big in shape. He looks good. I mean, like I looked at, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes some sense to me. But they cast a guy, I don't know who this person is, named Fred Hetchinger to be the Chameleon, which is awesome. Let me say it's awesome that the Chameleon is going to be in this movie. There are some Spider-Man villains that I keep asking myself, when the fuck are y'all gonna put them in a movie? It makes the most sense. The Chameleon makes the most sense. I mean, a guy who literally can look like anybody, right? And he's in this for a reason because they've established it in continuity in the comics that he's a half brother of Kraven. So I'm hella excited. I don't know anything about this guy's work. I don't care. I just want to see the Chameleon in play. We got Mysterio. Now we're gonna get the Chameleon. I can't wait for that.
I'm excited. So we're gonna see. So I'm interested to see what Sony's doing with this villain verse. They might have saw how good Joker was and said, what, let's just double down on that, because there's a lot of like villains in Spider-Man's universe that have actually really good backstories, and it's really good to like talk about them because let's be honest, Spider-Man is like a Nexus character. There's a lot of his villains or characters that connect to other people as well, and you know what I mean. Like, of course, Morbius could lead to Blade. You know, Craven the Hunter. There's a lot of different things that can lead into other things, and I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm very interested to see what they're doing with this Craven the Hunter movie. And like you said, adding the chameleon, who famously got Peter Parker slapped in the cartoon because he thought Mary Jane thought he was cheating on her.
Yeah, and then traditionally the chameleon has always caused Spider-Man trouble, not by beating him up, but by making his life difficult. You know,
Yep.
pretending to be him, pretending to be people that know him, just more or less screwing around with Peter Parker's life. So I'm really excited, and I just love the fact that this just means they are seriously working on this. That's all I want to hear is that you guys are moving them. You know, you guys are moving the chess pieces on the board towards an end game. So cool, and I'm glad to hear it. And we'll let you guys know more when we hear some more. Another quick bit of casting news. We got a new cast member added to Blade. So again, this is I don't know who they're playing. This just they added a person to the cast. Last person we heard was Delroy Lindo, right? But there's an actor named Aaron Pierre who's going to be joining Blade. So once again, we don't know the character. This is important only because yes, they are still working on the Blade movie. You know, we haven't heard anything since they announced it, except we heard Blade and the Eternals. So this is just an indication, yes, forward momentum on this. I can't tell you anything about this guy really. I don't really know what he's been in. So that's as far as my enthusiasm goes. It's simply the cast is getting bigger.
He looks very familiar. I think
Yeah,
he was a
I know. I
he.
just like
I
who
think
is
he was a
this?
villain. He was a villain in some kind of. He has a very villain face. He has that face that you just want to
They said he
punch.
was in Krypton, and which I never watched the Krypton show, which I've heard it was good, but like not great. And I just, my desire to watch DC TV shows is pretty low, generally speaking. So
I don't
I don't
blame
know
you.
this guy, but good on him, and it's good to know that Blade's moving forward. Uh, and we'll let you guys know more about that when we learn more news. So, Lottie, it's time to do a big news roundup for one particular movie. One movie that I think is on the minds of all comic book nerds right now. And that is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which had a really great trailer recently. And out of that trailer, we learned a lot about what's going to be going on. And we learned uh, in the aftermath that some more news items, like for instance, allow me to say this. I'm gonna borrow one of your phrases, but Lottie, somebody better pick up that phone,
Why?
cause I fucking called it. You know what? I get tired of people arguing with me about nerd shit online. I really do. Like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Remember when that first teaser trailer, not the second the first Multiverse of Madness trailer dropped, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's Superior Strange from What If? Oh, that's him. He's the evil Doctor Strange in there." And what did I say? I said it's not him. It's clearly not him. First, it don't really look like him. But yeah, maybe he's got some similar abilities, but it's an alternate universe Doctor Strange. No, it's not. It's not him. That dude is sitting up there guarding this fucking time crystal, holding back, you know, Killmonger and Arnim Zola with the Infinity Stones, right? And he's not a bad
Yep.
guy. He's not at the end of What If. He was not a bad guy. I said this, and people want to really sit up there and argue with me online about that. All right, so I kept saying, "No, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong." I'm giving them the business. I'm showing them. I'm explaining. Nope, they telling me I'm wrong. Well, guess what? All of you wrong people online, let this be a lesson not to argue with me. The producer of the show, of the movie, of Doctor Strange 2, said from his mouth directly that is not Superior Strange from What If. All right, so is it right? So I can't wait for people to tell. And I've been waiting for people that were on that thread telling me how wrong I was to be like, you know what? I was wrong. You're right. You were right. I was wrong. But nerds, right? So yes, according to the producer of Multiverse of Madness, that is not Superior Strange from What If. That's a different Strange, different bad guy Strange, which I also said it may not be. It may be a variant of Superior Strange. Is that hard to believe? It's a fucking multiverse. There's an infinite number there. Surely there's another, Superior Strange that came close to destroying his reality. That's all I'm saying. So, sorry I spent 5 minutes telling y'all that I know it, that I know what I'm talking about. Don't argue with me. But take this as a lesson. I know what I'm talking about. Don't argue with me. So,
Yeah, man. Stretch your stuff. You're right. Hey, they should have. I mean, you know, I was of the thing saying, oh, okay, that's strange from the movie Superior Strange, but more and more you thought about, it, I was like, yeah, you're right. But then it's like you said, there's a multiverse. There are millions, there's trillions, actually, there's infinite Superior Stranges out there. So
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's one of those things that is like, just because it's not that one, it's technically is Superior Strange, not the one that we know.
All right. And in this case, I don't even think it's actually even a Superior Strange because they wrote the movie before What If was written. So they're not really the same character. But I had said, like, hey, maybe it's just an alternate version of Superior Strange. We can both be right. You can be like, that's Superior Strange. Or I can just be like, no, it's not that guy. He's clearly a good guy who's doing something important for the watcher. It's a version of him. There you go. But no, you people want to argue. So you guys enjoy, those who argue with me, enjoy being wrong. While I'm over here enjoying being right. Other things related to Multiverse of Madness. Bruce Campbell always showing up in Sam Raimi things. See any Sam Raimi thing, he's probably been in it. Most notably, he's been Ash Williams from the Evil Dead movie series. And he has said, hey, I filmed some scenes for Multiverse of Madness. To the surprise of 0 people in the world that know anything about Sam Raimi. Who he is and what the role he is and whether or not the role will even show up in the movie is up in the air. I'd say probably so. He probably will show up. But I don't even want to speculate. I'm hoping that this is Ash Williams. And for one reason and one reason only. Because it is canonical within the Marvel Comics universe that Ash Williams has, in fact, from Evil Dead with the shotgun hand and the chainsaw hand, right? Shotgun and the chainsaw hand that fights the Deadites. He has actually been in a Marvel comic as Ash Williams fighting the Marvel zombies. And there's a bunch of let me just say, there's some cross-dimensional shenanigans that made such a thing happen. And it was a confluence of the fact that there was an Evil Dead comic book running at the same time. So it was just a bit of synergy with Marvel Zombies. And he interacts with Spider-Man and so forth and so on. So I'm putting money that it's going to be Ash. But I probably am wrong. I'm just saying I think it's probably him. But it could just be some other character because Multiverse of Madness is clearly going to have a ton of other characters.
You know who'll be a good consolation prize if it's not Ash Williams?
What's that?
Frank West. Because technically, he was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So, by the Multiverse of Madness, Frank West.
I mean, it could be, honestly, at this point, it could be anybody. Like who? It just be like, oh, he's Forbush man, or he's I mean, he could be a Beta Ray Bill. I don't know. At this point, it could be anybody. Seriously.
Yeah.
So,
He could
but
be a J. Jonah Jameson that turned into a zombie hunter.
or it's anything. I'm just saying. I hope that he makes the cut though. I really do. Um. So now it's time to start talking about people lying when it comes to Multiverse of Madness. Remember we talked about this last week? Patrick Stewart straight lying, just lying about being in the trailer, in the Multiverse of Madness trailer, and we all know he's lying. But there's also, we didn't talk about it last week, but Ryan Reynolds was also denying that Deadpool that he was going to be Deadpool in Doctor Strange too. And look, at some like I feel like Andrew Garfield has kind of set the stage for all of this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he set the stage for all of this speculation and foolishness. Where and Ryan Reynolds is so good at just kind of being like, seriously, guys, I didn't wink. Serious, I'm not doing. Guys, he does that thing.
Well,
So the question is he lying? Is Deadpool, because then there's been the Diz Insider website was like, nah, for real, we know for sure Deadpool's gonna be in here. So I don't know what.
I'm gonna just tell you right now, he is not lying because he's breaking the fourth wall. Ryan Reynolds will not be in the movie, but he's playing as Deadpool even in real life.
But
So he's breaking the fourth wall. He's not lying because we got to remember this is Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool even in real life. He's a troll. He is trolling the shit out of. He knows exactly how to answer that question. They're like, Ryan Reynolds, are you in the movie? No, because he's not. Deadpool's in the movie. Because you can't see his face.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like I was like, technically, I'm like, oh man, we're doing that thing. And you know what the thing about Ryan Reynolds is, you're just gonna give him a pass. That guy. I mean, come on. How can you not give him a pass?
A troll. Ryan Reynolds is a walking troll. He's trolling them because the people are asking the question, they're probably not asking it right, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm not in the movie."
Yeah, it's like
because
they're literally like Ryan, are you in Multiverse of Madness? No, Ryan Reynolds am not in. You will not see Ryan Reynolds in that movie at all. I'm like, man, you know what? Okay, we're gonna let this slide, but we know you're lying, right? We know you're lying.
Because he probably in the movie doesn't take off his mask, so
It's
he's
probably not
basically
even him.
Deadpool.
It's just his stunt double, and he's just doing the voice.
Voice.
Just saying, crazy. Speaking of lying, let's give let's give a round of applause. Let's clap for Patrick Stewart for him giving up on the lying like ace as soon as possible. I was so intent on talking about, man, like Patrick Stewart still straight lying, but then I saw on the direct that he had basically admitted, like, yeah, I'm in this thing. Like, we know, man. You don't. We knew that. Like,
you know what happened?
We knew that little cue ball when you rolled up. As soon as the light hit off of it, I was like, yeah, I know the way the light shines on that bald head. So,
you know what happened, right?
What was that?
Mickey got into his earpiece. Was like, you could say it. You could say it. I won't be mad at you.
Well, maybe Patrick's like, maybe it's just like, I don't know. At my age, it's hard for me to remember sometimes, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no, he was. I mean, he was talking. I think was he talking? He may have been talking about Star Trek, because Star Trek Picard's about to start this week, so he's got stuff going on, but he's just like, yeah, I didn't even recognize. I barely recognized my voice or whatever. It's like they kind of altered it or something. And so he's acknowledging that he's in this. Then good on you, Patrick Stewart. You stayed lying for one whole week. You did it for one whole week. That you know what? Maybe you should consult Andrew Garfield about how to properly maintain that lie. Like I said, Andrew Garfield, he more or less he set the stage for this stuff. Now anybody you ask, just like, oh, they're lying about they're gonna be in this movie. So it's I honestly this is genius work by Feige and his team over at Marvel. Am I wrong? Like it's straight we're sitting up here talking about whether or not someone's lying about being in the movie. I mean that's a win. as far as they're concerned, that's a win for them. So all right, can't wait to see Professor X in that. Lastly, it's not really totally related to Multiverse of Madness, but in the same theme of Andrew Garfield lying about things. he's already acknowledged, like, it doesn't matter what he says from now on. People just come like, you're lying. And I'm like, well, you made that bet and you laid in it for a whole year. So, I mean, what can we do? God. So speaking of good old Andrew Garfield, was talking and someone's asking about, are you going to come back as Spider-Man? And his response was, there's no plan. He has no plans to come back as Spidey. Currently, no plans to come back as Spidey.
Liar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know that little meme picture of the black dude looking side-eyed with his lips up? Like that's exactly what you're getting right now, Andrew. Don't nobody believe that. Nobody believes it. I'm telling you. And this is also related. Do you see some of those little outtakes and like the little funny things that Toby, Andrew, and Tom Holland were doing, like in their Spider-Man suits? They were doing all those little funny pictures and stuff like that. And they did the little pointing Spider-Man meme and everything like that. And do you see how much fun those guys are having?
Yeah. And
you see how much fun Andrew Garfield is having. No way in hell do I believe he's not coming back as Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? We were just talking about fumbling the bag earlier, like an epic bag fumble. That more epic than Evangeline Lilly's bag fumble would be Sony not greenlighting 2 new Spider-Man movies. One with Toby and one with Andrew. That's a gigantic bag fumble.
That is like those movies guaranteed will make $500 million in the box office.
No, not
guaranteed.
$500 million. No, man, you
I'm talking about opening day. I'm talking about opening day.
Because to me, and this shit's simple to me. This shit is simple to me. You fold in. You want to guarantee $1 billion on this? It's real simple. You take Andrew, give him his third movie, and put him in the Venomverse. Bam!
Exactly.
$1 billion.
There you go.
$1 billion straight up. You need Venom to go against a Spider-Man anyway. Bam! There you got one.
Yep. There you go.
Andrew, we want you to know we love you. You were great in No Way Home. You're great in Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Don't nobody believe you. Your ass is coming back to be Spider-Man. Sony is going to back that dump truck up and pour all that loot on your front step. And then you're going to be like, where are my web shooters, dog? I left them on the shelf or something right here.
There's a meme
wait. Go ahead.
I was just saying, there's a meme of Andrew like going viral because that meme of like that puppet that he looks at you then looks away.
Yeah.
They got a meme of Andrew. They're like, "Are you in the next movie?" Andrew looks at him and looks away.
Basically. Yeah. No, and see, what if Andrew keep being like, "No, I don't know, mate. I don't think I want to do this anymore." And then Kevin Feige's like. He gets dog on the phone and be like, "Yo, come on, man. You gotta play ball." Kevin Feige's gonna put his arm around him and like, "Look, what do we have to do to get you into this Spider-Man suit today?"
I mean,
I just see it. It and what if to sweeten the pot? What if to sweeten the pot, Sony teamed up with Marvel Studios again for Andrew's third movie? That might be fire.
exactly. Like I immediately after No Way Home, I said they're gonna make Spider-Man 4 for Tobey Maguire. They're gonna make an Amazing Spider-Man 3. There's no way in hell that shit ain't coming out. Cause what Sony and Marvel literally just saw like that meme of them of the wire, them standing in the truck with dollars going like, holy shit. They will be like you said, this will be the no, Andrew. They will throw 30 million at your face and be like, "Shut up and put on that damn suit."
I
They'll throw
yeah,
30 at you.
I cannot. Yeah, I can't believe that. This is the same way when Tom Holland be like, I think I might take a break from acting. I don't. Maybe I won't come back. Yes, you are. Just stop.
Yes, you are.
I don't. Come on. Okay. Just Andrew. Just okay. You just keep on. Yeah. Okay, Andrew. We believe you. We really believe you for real. See, mate, I'm that little meme with the side eye. That's what I'm doing right now. So
It's just funny how Tobey Maguire's the one that's like basically like because he was asked, he said he's ready. Like Tobey Maguire's like, hey, if they throw 40 at me, I'll come back. Shit. Shit.
shit. Oh man, you guys, I'm excited about the idea that they might just do that, but we'll see. We gotta let you guys know in the future. It's gonna be sometime in the future, I guarantee. But still, Andrew, we'll see you back in the Spider-Man suit in no time, I'm sure.
Yes.
Um, let's talk a little bit of Batman news, just a little bit. The Batman, of course, is coming out this week, and I think it's gonna be huge, but we'll see what the box office does. It is very adult, apparently. And Britain, they kind of made it so that if you're under 15, you can't even go to see it at all.
It's PG-13, right?
It is here, but Britain, they have
How?
their thing is a little different. Like their rating system is a little different. So they have made it so that under 15 at all, not allowed. We'll see if that sticks. But it's supposed to be darker and gritty and all that other stuff. And I get that. But one of the good things is that last week they said, "Hey, we're developing the Batman 2," which is like out of all of the news that came out, that's the no news is news that I've seen in a while. No shit. Of course
Yeah.
they're gonna make a second Batman. Like, why wouldn't they? All the hype over this damn movie, all of the hype. Like, I don't. You are a poster child for it. You said
Yes.
yourself you're not haven't been a big fan of the latest live action iterations of Batman, including The Dark Knight, which is widely considered probably the best live action Batman movie. But that this has gotten your attention, that you're super excited, and you are not the only one. Like I was showing my father-in-law, I was like, oh, Batman's coming out. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, here, go check out the trailer, and he saw it. He's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna go see that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, this Batman is, I think, probably going to make. I'm hoping it makes $1 billion. I think it.
I hope so,
I think
too.
it deserves
Yeah.
to.
Yes.
But that said, obviously it's going to make enough money to be profitable. So yeah, they're going to make a second one of these. And more importantly, Robert Pattinson is really into it. That's what's important. The lead character, he's talking about like we got these ideas, and we're working on the story and all this other stuff. He's saying this beforehand, and that's what I want to see. I want to see enthusiasm from the lead about getting into that suit again, because it's no joke to put on that fucking suit and do all of that stuff,
Yeah.
So
And, oh man. So I'm gonna just like give a quick like why feelings when I first saw the first trailer of this movie. I came into that first trailer with so much skepticism. Like it was like I was fully believing this movie is going to be terrible, it's going to be corny, it's going to suck, and I'm not going to enjoy it. I just fully came into to that when I came into the trailer. And as the trailer went on, that skepticism began to crumble. And that excited boy that grew up watching Batman in the 90s began to claw its way out. And at the end of that trailer, I felt like a kid again. I mean, this is probably one of the best live action the trailer looks like this might be the best live action Batman ever made. The way the trailer looks. And that scene with them in the church, to see how Batman doesn't say much in that trailer, but that was almost an Oscar-winning performance by Patton. Just the awkwardness of him. You can clearly see this is making him very uncomfortable. But he's there because the boy reminds him of how he lost his parents. And then, like you said, the Riddler turning that thing into like a horror movie of like what the heck is about to come out of this car. And my goodness, I feel like this is the type of movie that I will be at the edge of my seat. It will get down the mystery, because the thing about a Batman movie is not supposed to just be actiony. It's supposed to be a mystery, like a murder mystery. That's how you get down Batman, because he's a detective. He's a detective in a bat suit. So you're supposed to get down the action and the murder mystery. And I feel like they're finally truly getting it down. It seems like anytime when they try to make a movie, they either make it too actiony or they make it too murder mystery. Where, like I said, the last Batman movie, I felt like I was watching Criminal Minds. But I feel like they got this down, and like you said, I hope that it does good, and I pray to God that the second movie has the Joker that we all know now in the second. Please, DC, I'm begging you. I am begging you. I am on my knees. Please, please get him to play Joker in the next movie. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Please. And I will watch that movie 5 times. I'm serious. I watched the Joker 4 times in theaters. I
Right.
watched that movie 5 times.
Well, you know what? I know this. I don't want to burst your bubble, but I've seen rumors that Barry Keoghan plays a version of the Joker in there. Barry Keoghan, of course, he played Druig in Eternals. So yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how else to say that to you. Yeah, it's. But they're working on Joker
But
too.
if they do the Night of the Owls, I'll
Oh, the
forgive them.
quarter out, yeah,
Yes.
that's definitely in there. The funny thing, the interesting thing about
Ooh, that would be really
the
cool.
interesting thing about all of this is that apparently Pattinson has gotten like kind of really into and has a good understanding of the character of Batman and some of his stories, some of his big times. So he mentions Court of Owls, he actually knows what the hell he's talking about. Oh, that's nice. Like it'd be nice. It's nice when they know who the hell this guy is and what he's about. So
Yep.
that's good. So speaking of the Batman, so today the review embargo dropped. So that means that people can start talking about what exactly they think about it. And I do believe it's hanging at an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Holy
which
shit.
89% on Rotten. Now it's no Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's
DC's beggars can't be choosers.
oh, it's at 89%. So it's not as good as Peacemaker, but but what they say more or less seems to be in line. Like on average, I saw the one where someone's like, "Yeah, I don't think much of this." Um, they said it uh, lacks grace, romance, and the shiny sheen of novelty. And I'm like,
It's a
Yes, because
Batman movie.
it's a Batman. It's like
And
it's
movie.
probably like the 10th Batman movie you've ever seen in your life. Oh, it just doesn't feel very fresh and new. It's Batman. What the fuck do you want? It's been out since like the 30s. Like it's a character that's been got done over and over and over again. How fresh can it fucking be? This is my question. To be honest, this is probably the fresh take because let's think about every other version of Batman we've seen, right?
Yep.
Have they been the smartest person in the room at any given time? Not really. Have they
Nope.
been Sherlock Holmes within a cape? Not really. You know, have they gotten small number of clues and showed that they're the most resourceful and quickest to to put shit together? Not really. But I've read in the comic books where he literally Sherlock Holmes shit, or he's just like, yeah, I know this. Let me run this through the bat computer or something like that. That's what Lucius Fox was literally doing that shit for him in the Christian Bale ones, right? And
Hmm.
he was just blundering along in the '90s Batman. Like the putting two and two together didn't seem very like swift. So this is the freshest take as far as I can tell. But you know what? That guy didn't like it. It's all good. A lot of other people, if you read the other reviews, other snippets, they say it's a ferocious detective drama punctuated by moments of incredibly visceral action, aka ass beaten. Ass you know. It's what do they say? It's a visceral good movie. Mashes several Batman stories into a real take for an epic detective noir, which is important. Detective noir. That's what I've been getting from these trailers. That this is the Gotham City that I think we've come to know and understand. If you've read the comics or just kind of paid any attention, this isn't the Gotham City that we see on the sets of Batman 1989, where you don't believe it's a real city. It's not even like the Batman of like even the Nolan one, where sometimes you're like, this is a real place, and sometimes it isn't. This is this is that Dark Knight Returns. Everything's sort of dark and grungy, and he's just like, he's a guy trying to clean up the cesspool, but there's so much dirt, and he's having to slog through the mud dealing with all these people, and it's sort of a horror movie too. We see some bits of that too. So generally speaking, it seems like most people seem to like this, at least most of the people who are reviewing it. The question is, will you and I like it, Lottie? Will the general audience like it? You and I are predisposed, but will regular people that all they know is like, ooh, it's Batman and he's gonna beat people up, will they like it? And that's the
Yeah.
question. But I'm excited, man. I'm got my ticket. I'm ready to go. So I don't need to see any. Honestly, I skimmed through these reviews and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I don't need any more convincing. Look, Batman, you got me in bed. You don't. I mean, y'all got me. I'm there. I'm ready. I'm excited. Let's just go. Let's go do it. Let's do this thing. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other Batman fans that are excited for this too. So
Yep.
we're gonna let you guys know when we go see it. And fine. After all of that, there's just one little bit of news left, and that is let's talk about Netflix and Marvel and the Marvel Netflix universe. So we know that as of today, as of tomorrow, there will be no more Marvel shows on Netflix. Um, so if you don't have Disney Plus, you're kind of SOL. Unless if you have Disney Plus in other nations like say Canada, they are expected. That's what the news is. They are expecting to get it in the middle of March. Those are going to move over onto the Disney Star section on the Disney Plus. But the question is, what the hell's going on with us here in the United States? I mean, we want to watch this stuff. We want to see all of our Netflix things. But there's kind of a hiccup, which is that you really don't find rated R things on Disney Plus, right? They've kept
Yep.
that stuff away. You can't. I don't. Can you watch Logan? I don't think Logan is on Disney Plus. Is it? I don't know.
I
That's a
think I've
good
seen it.
question. But I
I
know.
think no, it's there. I think it is there. I think it is there.
But I know you can watch. A bunch of the other Fox X-Men stuff. Um, so there maybe there is precedent to watch Logan on. That's a rated R movie that you can watch on Disney Plus. So this is really more speculation because we don't have any official news about when or if the Netflix things are coming to Disney Plus. The smart money is if it's not there, then it's Hulu. But that also seems to run afoul of the idea that all the Marvel stuff is going to be under one umbrella. That's going to be in the MCU, and we know that Charlie Cox is going to be Daredevil for the MCU. We know that Kingpin is in. He's in the MCU because we saw him, and that the Kingpin is also, and they are tied directly to the whole Defenders Netflix thing. So Lottie, what do you think's the deal here? What's the plan here for them? Is it going to be Hulu? Is it going to be Disney Plus? How are they going to navigate this?
Whew. Maybe Hulu. I could definitely see Hulu becoming like Disney's adult section for like their TV shows because Disney kind of does need an adult section eventually. Because let's just be honest now, Amazon Prime has been snatching up a lot of like nerd stuff too. And I'm not saying they're building up their own like Amazon U or something, their own universe, but they got a lot of nerd stuff that is mature. And I'm not saying that Disney they have to start making mature uh the Marvel stuff, but they should have a mature section. And there are some people that have never seen the Netflix because they've never owned Netflix and never watched the Netflix Marvel shows, and just have them just go to obscurity would be a terrible move in my opinion by Disney. And if you don't want to put it on Disney Plus because you're a little scared, you don't want to put too much adult content on it. Like I said, put it on Hulu.
Uh-huh.
And I hope this does lead to maybe them maybe starting to explore using more of their dark characters because like I have a very very hard time seeing a Blade movie that's PG-13 because especially like maybe the first movie, but especially like the vampires he fights eventually, they're gonna have to really censor them for the movie to even be like PG-13. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he has like there's vampires that literally attack with cutting their bodies open and shooting gushes of blood at them.
Right.
You know, but we'll see. We'll see how Disney handles this because this is a new person. Like you said, this is new territory for them. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think I think the smart money is. I think that it's time for them to stop fooling around with this whole we can't have any art. Just make it so that there's a bit of a protection or something to keep kids out of it. I get you don't want them to watch Jessica Jones. That's fine, but bifurcating them and putting them on two different streaming services seems to run counter to the whole idea of the MCU and having everything in one. It's bad enough that Spider-Man isn't on there because it's Sony. You want to have Netflix stuff off of there because it's just because it's rated R. That's kind of silly. It is also bad enough that the Disney TV, the Marvel TV stuff sort of lands in its own place on Hulu, but they are starting to bring some of that stuff over too. I don't see any reason to not do the same for the Netflix stuff. But we'll see. I think I think we'll find out like within the next week because this stuff has jumped off of Netflix. We're gonna find out where it's gonna show up. I'm betting it's gonna be Disney Plus, personally. But we'll see. We'll let you guys know when we find out more. So that was a big old bag of news right there that we just rolled through. A lot of stuff that to cover this week. But maybe we missed something. Maybe we had a take that you just thought was crazy, or maybe you agree with it. I don't know. Either way, if you have something to say or you want something to add, get on down to the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And we appreciate it. We'll chop it up, talk about it, whatever you want to talk about. Also, while you are in the clicking mood, get down there and hit that subscribe button. Join the Super Not Funny Show family. We would appreciate that very much. And you can always hit that notification bell. It will let you know when we release new content. We're doing a bunch of reviews right now, all sorts of stuff like that. So go check that out. And speaking of checking things out, why don't you go check out Ladi on his social media? So Ladi, where can they reach you?
Hey, you can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anu Kinihun. It is ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. Posting pictures I'm going to start posting pictures and small videos of a project that I'm working on. And also you can catch me on my YouTube channel, which is Kinihun25. I'm going to start streaming Elden Ring. So if you want to see me rage at getting myself wrecked by bosses, go ahead, catch the stream, leave a like, or you could go in the comment section and say you suck. I take all type of criticism, good or bad.
You should say, I'm about to say, you should see when I'm watching them play Halo. I'm just like, you're dead again? Okay. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks once again for joining us. The 40th episode of the Supercast. Come back next week. We're going to talk about Batman, among many other things. Until then, I've been Mo de Poupée, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.